Hey guys, welcome to Isaiah's Reviews, and today we'll be reviewing something very interesting because I was approached by a company that I didn't know would approach a content creator in this genre and in this world, but it's genius on their part. And they asked me to review their product, and I said sure. So they shipped me out like this care package of everything that they offer for you guys and to promote the product, of course. But I'm only going to talk about this. I'm only going to give it a good review if it's good for you and good. So what is it? It is Sneak in-game energy, and within their little care package of delivery, it comes with stickers. And this is their logo, the little rabbit here. And everything from the website to the marketing and everything about the product, we'll talk about the actual product itself, but everything leading up to the product is genius. Whoever is handling their marketing, whoever did their logos, everything is perfect, and it makes sense to the crowd that they're after, and it looks great. Everything about it is solid. And they're kind of new. I think they came out this year, really coming out hot this year. But at the beginning of the summer, I think they dropped at the beginning of the year, but really started gaining that momentum and steam at the beginning of the summer. But this is powdered energy drinks, and to give you a little brief story of myself and my daily grind, it is normally a cup of coffee followed by another cup of coffee to get me going in a mood that I like, and then I start easing into content creating, research, work, whatever it is. That's kind of the grind, and I will get an energy drink, and NOS is the energy of choice. And the top 5 energy drinks, that's pre-made energy drinks in the United States. Of course, Red Bull, Diet, Red Bull, Monster, Diet Monster, Sugar-Free Monster, both sugar-free Red Bull and Monster, and NOS is 5th. And NOS was my favorite drink of choice. Just getting that out there before we start rolling into other details. But you do get a few stickers in a package. You do get the shaker itself, which I have a shaker that I use. It's double wall insulated, stainless. It has the built-in mixer into the head and all that stuff. And I got this plastic thing, and I was like, whatever. And I just used my double insulated. But we'll get back to this here in just a second. And you also get 40 servings a piece of this zero sugar, should I add, cherry bomb, which at first I was like, okay, that's pretty good. I think that's their #1 seller, but I was like, okay, that's pretty good. Then you get the blue raspberry, and then you get the cool one that I thought at first that I liked the most, the stealth edition, which kind of has this lemony lime kind of taste, and it just tastes so familiar, but they really don't tell you what the heck it's supposed to taste like, except stealth. But I really liked this at first. And then I went back to some of the other ones, and I really liked those. And then I ended up kind of liking Cherry Bomb the best after liking Stealth the best at first. But I keep rotating around. I've had this thing for like 3 weeks. I've been doing this. And I really wanted to put a lot of review, because on these things, when I started doing my research, I found that people were just kind of taste testing it on camera and giving their opinion about it right there. And I'm like, that is not fair to the people watching, and that's not fair to the company either to do that. So I wanted to give like a month-long investigation, deep dive into the product to see the effects long term, and to mix it up with different things and to see how I felt, because I know what energy drinks do to me. Sometimes I get this headache, and it's brief, and then it flows into final energy, and then there's kind of a drop-off crash point because of all the sugar that's in there. And we'll get to that here in a little bit. But yeah, okay, so let's start with the shaker itself. At first, like I said, I thought whatever, it's a piece of plastic. But on the inside, which is different from mine, I'm not going to bring up the company, the manufacturer of mine, but I like the double wall insulated because it doesn't sweat. So I do wish that they would make a stainless version, or at least a double walled one to reduce the sweating of it. But as far as the shaker goes, it's completely engineered to mix their stuff up, and it does it the best. I kept getting grains kind of left in there with mine, even though I liked the feel and the no sweat of mine. This is the only one that I can find that will actually mix it up completely. So great job on something that costs super cheap, because I think it's like $5 if you were to buy it itself online. This ships from the UK in just a few days to my address. It only took a couple days which was insane. It comes from the UK. But anyway, so here's the mixing. And the key is these blades are big. They're pretty thick, and they're angled just right to mix it. And this goes right down into that. And then, of course, this screws on. And then, you shake it up and you're in business, and it mixes it up really, really well. And their logo, I mean, everything about this, everything about the company's direction and the marketing side of town is perfect. Absolutely perfect. You get the stickers, like I said, but let's get to the drink. Let's talk about the label on this guy. They're advertising a healthy alternative to energy, primarily for gamers, but also they mention content creators and other people, other groups of people, which is something so the competition really doesn't do. The competition kind of focuses on gamers that are in this world competition-wise. And the label and everything, I'm not a nutritionist. This is just my opinion, but I think it's great. And I want to tell you something about the top 5 that I mentioned earlier. If you look at their niacin levels and even the Spark powdered energy drink, if you look at those niacin levels, those are very dangerous. Liver damage with those. I've picked up on a story when I was doing my research for niacin. I wanted to look at the ingredients and weigh them between like the canned premixed and the powder, since this is a healthier alternative. If you're going to get energy, I would go with this one. But for what reason? I wanted to look that up, and I found an article about a guy that had developed liver cancer. He beat it. He went back to his old styles, which was drinking 2 energy drinks a day. And oftentimes your serving size is 2 or 3 times in a can, and nobody's going to get the tiny Red Bull and drink a 1 serving drink. You're going to get either the medium or the largest one, and you're going to drink it all, and that is like 2 or 3 servings. And then if you look at your daily dose and your percentage of niacin in 1 serving, that's insane that you're going to drink that many or that much niacin in your body. And this guy developed liver cancer again, and died, and the doctors finally narrowed it down and back to the niacin, and his energy drink obsession is the primary source of that liver failure. So that is a very, very bad thing. And I'm proud and happy to say that the niacin levels in here, 2.4 milligrams, 15% in a serving. And they recommend only 2 servings a day. So that's I mix between 12 and 13 ounces of water with 1 scoop of this stuff. And that's it, twice a day. Kind of divide that up throughout the day, not back to back, and I have some water in between, and I would recommend that. But sugar, 0, great. Total carbs, 3 grams. You plow through here. I'm cool with everything, and then we get to biotin, and that's 123% of your daily dose. That is the only other thing that I see that might be a problem, but that biotin, if it sounds familiar, it's for fingernails and hair health. And you do get that naturally out of some food, and most of the time you don't need that. So that's the only, but I'm not concerned with that amount, because if you look at pills that people take for a supplement for biotin, as far as the level that you're getting in this is nowhere near a supplement that is based on your hair and fingernails and stuff like that. Not saying it's good for you, but I'm saying that it's not really bad levels at all in here. And this blend, this mix is really perfect. I found that with coffee, you get this weird feeling that I can't explain, but it's just something warm, and you get used to the drink. And I drink my coffee straight black, no sugar, no nothing in it, because I don't like all those additives. The energy drinks got this spike, and it gives me like this sharp pain in my head, and it's really only for like 20 minutes. But then you get a little energy and then a drop off where you're really tired. And that's what I run into. And the aspartame from those sugar-free drinks are horrendous. They're terrible. Now, I'm not advocating this. I'm not trying to plug this. This wasn't the point. It's just the research led me to, if you're going to do an energy drink, I would recommend this one, because the ingredients are there, and the feeling that I got was a natural high from it, sort of a natural energy that I was really aware of everything down to the T, and I felt a better version of myself kind of gradually emerge. And it wasn't like, it kind of like if you had a graph, it was like a hill that met with my youthfulness, that where I felt like good. It just put me in a great mood. And then that ran sort of downward and parallel with me, and I don't know when it drops off. I think it's about 2.5 or 3 hours off one drink. I think that's when I merge back to my original self, but it's such a gradual merging back to myself. I don't really notice it, and I carry that good vibe that I had with my original self, if that makes sense. So immediately I told my wife, I was like, you know what? The first time I drank it, I was like, I feel like I did a decade ago. Like I have this energy level and I feel good. I'm in a good mood. And that was a fantastic feeling. And of course I play video games. Are you crazy? So the main audience kinda is video games, even though they do, like I said, mention content creators and all this stuff, which I think is great, because whenever you're trying to do that editing grind, and it is hard to get yourself to edit. It's easy to come here and talk about something you're passionate about, but then when you got to get down and spend 3 and 4 times what you did to film it, editing it, that's when it can get into a grind, and a hard grind to get motivated to do. And I felt like that I drank this and I was able to get through that grind of editing and paid attention to detail and maybe did a slightly better job than what I would do, because I wasn't tired and ready to get on to something else. But gaming, I experimented with gaming for about an hour to get that way I could get completely warmed up, get into a routine, and see what my kill to death ratio would be. It wasn't that great, it was about average or whatever. I drank that, started to play. Within, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, my kill to death ratio was very good, and I was dominating. And I was actually playing Modern Warfare 2 in Wait for Blackout, which dropped October 12th, which is right now. But so I'm waiting on that to come into the mailbox. Really pumped about Call of Duty. But anyway, I was playing Modern Warfare 2, old throwback game, on Xbox One, and my kill to death ratio, boom, it was like 3 deaths, 15 kills, and that was within 20 minutes after drinking that. And where I was plateauing kind of at about 12 kills and probably 9 or 10 deaths, that's kind of like where I was at in this funk for an hour. Drank that, and then my kill to death ratio was really awesome. It was in a positive, and I was contributing to the team a lot better than I was before, and that continued on until I just quit playing. So I don't know, like an hour after that or something like that. So I dedicated 2 hours of research into the gaming, and I think it worked, and I think it was because of that. And it's just something about being attentive, making you live in the moment, and like a little switch clicks on that you don't even feel. And I love the product. But let's get to the powder itself, because there are some negatives that are in this powder world. The positives I've gone completely over. I've really bragged on it. The marketing, the product itself tastes great. All these flavors taste great. It does exactly what it says it's going to do. 40 servings per canister, and you can get like a bundle of everything together. Ships in a few days. All that's great. The negatives would be that it's just powder. It's just something else that you have to deal with, and it's not as easy as going to buy a pre-made drink. You can get packets. You can get these. You can figure out your own method. You can get these little snack zipper packs, pour a few scoops or 1 scoop in there and dump that out into your mix. Whatever you figure out. If you don't want to carry this with you, I carry this with me. And another problem is it's just powder will just go into the air and you'll make a mess. It's gonna happen. You're gonna have to clean it up. It's just part of the process with scooping any powder out that's this fine. And it's just part of the nature of the beast. And also another negative, which I did let them know about, and they sent it to their shipping department. It's supposed to get addressed, but the packaging was very poor. They put some of those air pillows in there. It arrived, my first one arrived damaged. Down here was cracked and a little powder was leaking out. But they sent me another one. I got it in a couple days, which was amazing. So their customer service, they're very attentive with that, and I took pictures of the packaging, and they're supposed to forward that on to the shipping department. So maybe we will see a change in that, because I am honestly going to get this product again. Like whenever I finish these off, I want to get the product. I want to support the product. I think it's a great alternative to the bad things that are out there. I'm not going to, after doing the research, I really didn't pay attention. I didn't know anything. I was ignorant to some of those levels that were in those pre-made drinks that are the top 5 selling. All of them had bad levels. And I kind of felt bad about my body and what I was doing. Most people say they're bad for you, and I kind of knew that, but I really never paid attention to what was actually in the drink. And you know, so I do want to say thank you to the marketing guy who reached out and actually got me off of that. And I will not drink that again. And I really want to just kind of live in this product, in this world, because I think if you're going to do an energy alternative to your own energy, that this is the safest form that I could find online researching for this review. So yeah, I actually love the product. So to close, let's make a drink and we'll see how sweet tasting this stuff can be. And you know, honestly, in all honesty, I see where they're going. They're wanting to try to get something cheap that they can partner and pair with their stuff and send out to you. And that's what this is. It's a cheap piece of plastic. But they do have the markings on the side that you can see the water level in there through it pretty easy. But I would like to see a double walled one. I would pay extra for that, especially with their blades that are on the shaker. It just does the best. It does better than the little metal balls in there. It's just something about their little props that are in there, little propellers that are in there that mixes it correctly. So it makes sense. It's kind of engineered to mix their product. Inside, you do get a flavor packet which absorbs moisture and stuff in here, and that stays in there. And you do get a branded spoon with their rabbit logo on the spoon itself and the handle, so that's cool. And then you just kind of dump it in. See, it's just a little bit of that smoke that comes up. You just drop your mixer right in. Seal it up nice and neat, and then you kind of just shake it for a while. And here's one other problem that I foresee in the future that might damage this, but if you get 6 months out of it, that's great. Get you another one. It's so cheap. It's just that here, this lid here, it's in there so firm that it takes so much to push it up and to release that sometimes this plastic lid will kick back a little bit. And I just worry that the threads over time might strip out on this from just having to pull so hard. But I'd rather it snap in there so hard, and for $5, I would just get another one if something happened. I'd rather it do that than leak around the lid and not snap completely if it fell over or something like that. But it's cool that's a full-size shaker and not a little short stubby one. But let's take a drink. You can see the cherry's red, tastes great. Blueberry's blue, the stealth's green. But this really is a good tasting drink. And you know, my first opinion was the stealth was the best, but the longer I drink this stuff, having 3 flavors to go to break up the same taste. And every time I come back around to the other one, it's a good taste. Nothing's gotten old to me as far as the taste goes. So that's a great job. And they do have another flavor available that I really want to try. But yeah, I'm such a big fan of this energy drink. And also I've drank this and drank a cup of coffee after it. Been just fine. I've drank it kind of where I'm sort of on an empty stomach just to see what it would do to me. Everything turned out fine. I didn't get jittery. Nothing ever happened. I never could get to a jittery, uncomfortable point with it, no matter what time of the day, what point I was at. I just couldn't get to a point to where I felt bad from this product. So that is a great thing, and I highly recommend that if you drink any kind of alternative energy source, pay attention to what's on the label. Try this. Just give it a shot. Give one. I'm a big fan, okay? So make sure to explode on that subscribe button and ding that bell so you get notified on the next product review that I have coming out, which I should have one out pretty soon. I got a contest going on right now that's yearly. It's Christmas in October. Do that every year, so that alone is reason to subscribe. And this product, so fantastic. Don't be surprised if you don't see this little bunny pop up on a hat, because I know they just dropped a merch hat today with the logo on it. So if I have to buy it, I'll buy it, but send it to me because I really do want to wear that and support a good cause. See ya.